Wheeler using that size to try to clear. Jarvis will reach back, and here comes Jarvis, but he's got Robinson with him. Jarvis and Robinson. Here's a turn. Jarvis just misses the far post. Aho wins it. Gets back to Gostisbehere. The Canes can set it up. As here's a chance. Wheeler's now back. Gostisbehere, they score! On the power play! Win the draw, get the chance, and Shayne Gostisbehere lets it go. His third of the year, ties this in one. Now a chance here for the Rangers, they score! Vincent Trocheck from the slot. He beats Frederik Andersen, and it's 3-1 New York, 45 seconds into the third.
Welcome to the Canes Corner podcast, everyone. I am Adam Gold. Thank you very much for joining me inside Lenovo Center as we get ready for the Thanksgiving holiday here in the U.S. If you're in Australia, as our guy Mikhailov is, I don't think you have Thanksgiving. Maybe you do. I don't know. It's a fun holiday. It's just food and football. You guys could have it. I give you permission. You can have food and you can have Aussie rules, right? Go Essendon. Go Geelong. Go Sydney. I don't know. Hurricanes lose at 4-3 to the New York Rangers at Lenovo Center, and it's a frustrating evening. We're brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Won't help you, Mikhailov, over in Adelaide Hills. They do not service Greater Adelaide in Australia. Couple of things I want to get to, and then we're going to riot act. Yeah. First thing, people, whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on Blue Sky, or maybe you commented here. I was reading some of the comments before I hit live. I got nothing to do with the broadcast. I got nothing to do with the Jarvis box. I'm not watching the game. I'm sitting here in front of the game. I'm watching the ice. Like, do I have access to watch the game? Yeah, I do. Was it frustrating to watch that? Yeah. I mean, I wasn't in love with it. But like I kind of feel like if Carolina scored more goals, I think everybody would have been all right. But man, don't blow up my timeline telling me how much it sucked. I got nothing to do with it. I'm just a dopey radio guy who covers hockey. So I get it. There was two screens and there was this, and we were following Seth Jarvis around all night. You could follow worse players than Seth Jarvis. I mean, could have followed Jackson Blake tonight. That would have been fun. Could have followed Sebastian Aho tonight. That would have been fun. Andrei Svechnikov. That would have been good. I don't know. Maybe, again, if they scored more goals, I don't think anybody's really complaining about it. All right. I want to get to, there's a bunch of things I want to talk about. So I will tell you the number one reason why they did not win the game tonight. I'm going to use a cross-sport analogy to do so. You know, I like to do that. I made a golf analogy with Trip Tracy in the Stormwatch. If you're a baseball fan, your team could have a 2-0 lead early, and the bullpen gives up 3 runs, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and you lose it 3-2. And you go, oh, man, our bullpen sucks. Our bullpen sucks. Meanwhile, you left 11 runners on base, 3 runners in score, second and third, nobody out in the 6th, bases loaded, 1 out in the 7th. The reason you lose the game is not your bullpen. The reason you lost the game is because you didn't take advantage of the opportunities that were sitting in front of you. And tonight, the Hurricanes lost to the Rangers 4-3, not because of their goaltender. They lost to the Rangers because they didn't score enough goals. And there were goals to be had in this game, unless you were otherwise distracted. Hey, this is a difficult time. You got family coming over, family that you probably don't want in your house. You got stuff to do. You got stuff to make that you wouldn't eat otherwise. You got a lot of things to do. You're running around. You're going here. You're going there. It is a stressful time. On top of that, there's a lot going on in this in our little world that might upset some people. We got an economy going here. We got a jobs, my house. Everything's going wrong. And then the Hurricanes tonight stylistically play a great game and get nothing out of it because you couldn't bury your chances. Not because your goaltender isn't good enough. We're going to talk about goaltending before you all lose your minds. The Carolina Hurricanes bossed this game. First period, I thought, was pretty even. I know what the shot chart said. It said 14-4 at 13-4, I think, in favor of Carolina. It was an even first period. Rangers had a lot of chances, and a lot of them got deflected, missed the net, and they got a late goal. And we're going to talk about those things. A late goal in the first period, like 4 minutes left, right? Noah Laba. We're going to go through the goals. They got the late goal in the second period after Carolina dominated the period and only scored one goal. It only took 1 minute of magic. Win a faceoff. Fox to Panarin, boom. It's 2-1 again. Now you're deflated, and then right away, 45 seconds into the third period. Rangers didn't generate a ton tonight. Carolina did. But the Rangers scored 3 times. The empty netter made it 4. And the Hurricanes could only manage 2. This was a game that there were 4 or 5 goals sitting there for Carolina. Couldn't do it. For whatever reason, couldn't do it. And we're going to go through it. Let me do the goals first, and then we're going to get to Freddie. Because, honestly, it's nights like this that I hate Kane's Twitter. Hate, with a capital up yours. Because y'all are just too doggone. I just said doggone. Do you believe that? That's how mad I am. Because you're just so angry that the Hurricanes aren't scoring the goals the Rangers are scoring that you blame the wrong things. There wasn't a single goal tonight that would be considered a bad goal or even a questionable goal. Now, that doesn't mean you can't make a save, and we're going to get to it. But tonight was not about your goaltender. And for those people who regularly listen here, I have been saying for a while, goaltending is a concern. So don't even pretend that I haven't been talking about this. Again, we're going to get to Andersen in a second. First, let me go through the 3 goals for the Rangers. So we're late in the first period. Again, I think it's been pretty even. Carolina had some good chances that didn't go. I thought the power play that Carolina had in the first period had 3 really good chances early. By the way, the Hurricanes' power play tonight, 11 shots on goal. They were 1 for 5, 11 shots on goal, 21 shot attempts, and about 8 really good scoring chances. 1 goal. 1. So Noah Laba comes around, out from, sort of behind the net. He was in the corner. And nobody's with him. He's alone. If you watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. He just circles out and then just sort of drifts in. And Adam Edstrom, big dude, sitting in front of Freddie. Freddie's looking around, trying to find the puck. And great shot by Noah Laba. And he shoots wide side inside the post, and it's 1-0. And I went to the morning skate today, and we noticed that Jordan Martinook looked like he was a little uncomfortable skating around. And in my opinion, he's got something going on, which is no good because Jordan Martinook is too important. And had Carolina had more personnel here, and I guess they could have gone 11-7. But Rod doesn't want to go 11-7. He hates it. Some of the forwards don't mind it, but Rod doesn't like it because ultimately he's only playing 6 defensemen. And if you think about it, kind of really just played 3 a ton tonight. Miller, Walker, Gostisbehere really logged most of the minutes. I'll tell you who I thought had a really rough game tonight in a minute. So, but Martinook's clearly, he's not 100%. And he had the opportunity to at least bother Laba, but he didn't. So Laba has all the time in the world, and it makes it 1-0. All right, you got 40 minutes to figure it out. Second period starts. Carolina gets a power play, and Aho wins a draw, gets it to Gostisbehere, gives it to Ehlers. Ehlers gives it to Aho, low along the wall, sort of along the wall, down left side of the goal, cross ice pass to Gostisbehere, gorgeous one-timer, 1-1, simple, power play goal, win, draw, tie game. It was just textbook, beautiful, as you draw it up. And then Carolina gets another power play. Aho had a great chance. Rebound right to Andre. Can't finish it. No good. That was, by the way, that was also off a face-off. Face-off win. By the way, on that power play, the second power play, looked like Vincent Trocheck got away with a trip in the neutral zone of Stankoven, but it happens, right? Then after that power play expires, Martinook, aerial pass in front of the net to Will Carrier, who, like, Reggie Jackson's it and makes contact, but it basically hits Shesterkin. And then Jackson Blake had a great opportunity, didn't do it. Power play, another 2 chances for Andrei Svechnikov. Then one, Sebastian Aho in the high slot has a redirect that Shesterkin has to make a great save on. I felt like there were some other chances in the next 2 or 3 minutes where maybe Carolina waited a little bit too long. They were caught in between. Do I pass? Do I shoot? Ended up passing up some pretty good shooting opportunities. There were rebounds to be had tonight. 2 minutes left in the first period. It's still 1-1. Carolina was crushing the Rangers in the period. All of a sudden, the Rangers lose on a 2-on-1. And I completely left. Well, we're going to get to the goals here because I'm about to get to the second goal. But it's a 2-on-1. I think it was Miller and Trocheck. And Freddie gets over and makes a great save on Trocheck. Nobody remembers that. That's fine. He's supposed to make saves. So he makes that one. A minute later, Carolina loses a defensive zone faceoff. Adam Fox, great pass across to Artemi Panarin. One-timer, 2-1. You dominate the period. The Rangers get really 2 great scoring chances, score on 1. And now you're behind again. I don't know what you want Freddie to do there. Again, is it savable? I mean, yeah. But that isn't a bad goal. That is not, we need a better goaltender. That's not what that is. That's a goal. Just a goal. Sometimes the other team makes a good play. It's the third goal that bothered me, and it ain't about Freddie. It's the third goal that bothered me tonight. First goal bothered me a little because I think we could have done more. It was the third goal that bothered me tonight. So, Logan Stankoven, who we love. Panarin's got the puck. Gostisbehere's got Panarin. No need for you to be there. You know who your guy is? Vincent Trocheck. You know who got the puck in the high slot and drifted in? Vincent Trocheck. You know who beats Andersen over the glove side shoulder? Vincent Trocheck. That's your guy, Logan. Can't lose him. 45 seconds into the third period, not only are you chasing the game, You're chasing it with weights on your ankles. But again, Carolina's got plenty of opportunities to score. We've got 3 goals on the board, none of them the fault of your goaltender. Again, doesn't mean you can't make a save. I'm not saying that. But it's not because of him. And in the third, again, the first thing I wrote was too easy. Then Jankowski has a rebound at his feet. Can't find the handle. Jarvis scores. I think there were 9 minutes left. We make it 2-1, rather 3-2. Back-to-back chances, next shift and the shift after. The next shift, bump-up shift. It's Robida, I guess, with Martinook and Carrier. Rebound, Carrier right in front of the goal. Right in front of the goal. Puck laying 3 feet above the crease. Carrier can't score. It's not his job to score, but it's also not his job to not score. Opportunity right there. Next shift. I think everybody saw it. And I didn't get it. I didn't see a replay because they were still showing me the Jarvis goal, which I had seen 16 times. But the next play, next sequence, Aho, Jarvis, Svechnikov in transition, odd man chance, 3-on-2. Aho in the middle of the ice. He gets the puck to Jarvis on the right. He goes back to Aho in the middle, leaves it, backhand, little dish to Andre. Can't finish. I mean, so many chances to score, and Carolina didn't finish him. So much momentum. The game was there to be had. They did not score. That isn't about the goalie. All right, now to goaltending. Because if some of you have been paying attention to this, I have been saying it now. Heck, I'll go. I have notes because I do this. I'm anal about it. Let's see how long ago that I have been talking about goaltending. Let's see. We're going to go back. Oh, here we go. This is not the first time I mentioned it, but Canes Oilers right here. Goaltending is a concern. This is November 15th. Goaltending is a concern, people. I have been saying this for a bit. And that doesn't mean that Freddie is responsible for tonight. Doesn't mean that Freddie is responsible for the loss in Buffalo. Because I actually think he played reasonably well in Buffalo. A game where you go, if Freddie would do that every night, Carolina would win a whole lot more than they would lose. All things being equal, tonight obviously did not happen. But you take the performance, you take what Carolina did, what they created tonight, and you move forward, figuring you're probably going to get more than 2 goals next time. I don't know. Maybe you won't. Yes. If Freddie had made 2 amazing saves, because the Trocheck shot was great, and if we're going to criticize him at all on that, it might be that he kind of didn't make himself big. He went down and flinched a little bit, and that would be fair criticism on that. But that's not a bad goal to allow. But as I have been saying, goaltending is a concern. And this is the longest that Andersen has gone without putting together a run of really good performances. So let's not lie to ourselves that Andersen is always like this. Because as a Hurricane, he has not been like this. He has been a very good goaltender for Carolina. The biggest issue that we all have with Freddie has been availability, not ability, availability. And I did see somewhere in the thread here, where I'm still shell shocked from Game 6 a few years ago. And Chris, yeah, you're right. That was a terrible Frederik Andersen performance in the third period. Really bad. But that doesn't define what Freddie has done here. Freddie has been a really good goalie for Carolina. They would have moved on from Freddie if he didn't deserve another run. Now, they might end up moving on from Freddie if they can find a reasonable, suitable option, which they do not have right now. But as I said, goaltending as a whole, not just Andersen, goaltending for this team is a concern. This was Andersen's 13th start. He has a save percentage of .873. Super bad. That's assuming my math was accurate, but it was .881 before today, and he allowed 3 goals on 17 shots. So I think .873 is probably pretty close. He is 5-6-2. In 11 of his 13 starts, he has allowed at least 3 goals. Now, in the last 2, I don't think any of the goals has been bad. In several of the other starts, there has been 1, sometimes 2 goals that you go, yeah, you want Freddie to get that. But that's not the case tonight. But I get being mad, being frustrated, because Carolina should have won the game. But they should have scored enough goals to win the game. Not could have, should have. But it's not just Freddie. Brandon Bussi is a great story. And I think Brandon Bussi is going to start on Friday against Winnipeg. And then they'll go back to Freddie against Calgary on Sunday, unless Kochetkov is healthy. But let me tell you something about Brandon Bussi. Brandon Bussi is an AHL goalie who right now is on a good run of form. I'm not saying he's Spencer Martin, but I'm saying he might be Spencer Martin. But right now, playing well. Man, make hay with it. But you're not going to run him out there, 3 out of 5 games. You're just not going to do that. And let me explain Pyotr Kochetkov to you. He's made 4 starts this year. 2 of them, great. 2 of them, no good. Is that what you want? Because we'll be in the exact same spot. Kochetkov has yet to put 2 good games together in a row. I'm not saying that Andersen has. I'm talking about 2 games where he basically not won you the game, but really gave you a chance. Kochetkov did that in New York against the Rangers the first time. And which game was it that he played and he was so good? Was it Boston? I think Boston, the first game of that road trip. Yes, Kochetkov was great. And we haven't seen him since. In between, he had 2 bad starts. So Carolina's got a goaltending problem. They have below league average goaltending. It's tough to overcome unless you're outscoring your problems, which Carolina, again, tonight the goaltending wasn't a problem, but Carolina didn't score enough. It was on the offense tonight. Certainly not creation. They had more than enough chances to score. By the way, top line was great tonight. Aho, Jarvis, and Svechnikov combined for 26 shot attempts, 10 on goal, 15 scoring chances combined for the trio. Aho created rebounds. Jackson Blake was also very good tonight. I didn't love either Stankoven or Ehlers. To be honest, I thought Blake was great. But I will say this about Jackson Blake, who I love. Everybody knows I've been I've been almost to the point where a restraining order is necessary. Last 10 games, Jackson Blake, 2 goals. The game in Minnesota, which was one of the best games we have seen a Hurricane play. And I talked to him about it this morning, and he's still thinking about the rebound off his breakaway in overtime that he should have finished. And then I asked him, how gassed were you? He goes, I had nothing. My legs were shot. But 10 games, 2 goals, both in that game, which means in the other 9, nothing. As great as he is, and he will eventually become a better finisher. He's not there yet. They're going to need, they need more goals. He generates so much offense. They need more goals. Deep breaths, everybody. Deep breaths. Shayne Gostisbehere continues to be great. I mentioned I was going to tell you somebody I was a little disappointed in, and I'm, this is not a big picture thing. This is just about tonight. Because, first of all, if you honestly believe, and there are some out there that do, if you honestly believe that Keandre Miller has not been good as a Hurricane, I can't help you. He has been really good. I thought he was good tonight. Was he great tonight? No. I thought he was good tonight. And let's also remember this. At some point, it's going to be Miller and Slavin together. That's what it's going to be. That'll be your top pair. At some point, we'll get to that. Maybe we won't get to it this year. It'll be next year. But at some point, we're going to get to a place where Jacob Slavin is on the ice again, and everything will look a lot better. Jalen Chatfield had a rough night. He had a rough night to the point where if you are a fan of some of those sites like Hockey Stat Cards, I think it's called, which gives you like a breakdown of who was good, who wasn't. They have Shayne Gostisbehere having the worst night for the Hurricanes. Nah, man, Shayne Gostisbehere was good tonight. His partner wasn't. Jalen struggled a lot. To the point where Jalen Chatfield didn't play a ton. Played less than Alexander Nikishin. I think he played less than Joel Nystrom. Carolina's top 3 defensemen played a ton. Miller over 24, Walker over 23. I think Gostisbehere 21. And the other 3 guys played less. So they need better out of Jalen. I really thought he was, he has played against the Rangers really well. But this would be a good night for him. It was not a good night for him. All right, we got to go. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you all took the criticism constructively. We all want the same thing, want this team to win, but I want us to all blame the right things for why we lost. And tonight was not about Freddie Andersen. Not even sure it was about Igor Shesterkin, to be honest. Anyway, we're brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy Hanna and his crew do a great job. You should check them out for all of your exterior home improvement needs. They just finished my house. It's very nice. Pretty soon we will open up the screened-in porch for podcasting duties, but we're going to be here for the next 6 games. By the way, the Hurricanes, for the 4th time, not the 4th time, they start after being on the road, come home to start even a mini homestand. They have lost the first game 3 out of 4 times. No good. 6 more to get it right, starting Friday afternoon, 5 o'clock against Winnipeg. Until then, I will see everybody next time. Follow, subscribe, like, share, rate, review. Tell your friends about the Canes Corner podcast. Good night.